to play them. Let me just...
We're just checking trying to get the comments up.
Really want to get these comments up and running.
On our screen it's saying it's offline.
Oh, there we are. I don't know what's going on here.
Alright.
It's just not... Go to this. Go to theater mode. No.
We're not seeing...
I don't know what's going on right now.
Any comments.
Are we on like our video dashboard or something? Is that what's going on? Search. Oh, that's probably okay. No. Don't do that.
Live now. That's what we want. Channel.
Where are our comments? Not looking for whispers here. Okay, in any case, while Jeff's figuring this out, so as I said, we were really excited to play this game. Because it was, every time we've played New York, even though we've managed to come out on top, every time we played New York's thus far, we've had some really close battles with them, and this one was going to be no different, especially because the weather conditions were brutal. It was super, super windy, pretty cold. It was not going to be a fun game to play in by any stretch of the imagination, so we were really hoping, because the only thing worse than playing in a game with really shitty conditions like that is losing in a game with really shitty conditions like that. So we were pretty pumped to play and to hopefully come out with a win.
I don't know what to say. The comments, we can see the people are watching. We cannot see where the comments is.
Yeah, this is really
I'm
weird.
getting super frustrated by that. I'm gonna load it up on my phone. Let's start the game.
Yeah, let's just get the game going. Okay, so we will start as one usually does at the beginning. And so I actually think we might be starting on offense this game. Probably because they won the toss, and because generally speaking, as we keep saying whenever we do these broadcasts, that we like to start on defense. So, but they, and especially in this wind, they made us start on offense, and look what happens there. Cam with an uncharacteristic drop right off the bat, and now they're going upwind, and that's what's tough when you're throwing a downwind dump like that. The disc is gonna sail on you.
I think this is how our highlight reel started. That the ADL decided this was the highlight of the game. It started with this. I guess that just shows that was actually pretty good to start the game like that, because it just let us know the type of game this is going to be. So send out a huck, the wind takes it up, it goes way out almost in the parking lot. And
He put so little on that throw, and it just sailed and sailed and sailed and sailed. So, and that's the thing. It's tough to watch on this, or to see on the stream how windy it is without a visible flag to show you. But honestly, it was really tough to deal with, and I don't envy their defense right now, trying to work it upwind here.
Which that did make this game. It was really an upwind downwind sort of game. So.
So you can see, I mean, even that throw right there, it looked like it might be pretty good coming out, and the wind just pushed it right down. Let's see what Link's doing here. So, and that's kind of the way that you got to throw downwind. You know, those little low release, the air bounce doesn't happen when you're going downwind. So, you know, guys like Link who really love throwing those things at shoulder height are really going to excel, because those are the kind of throws that are going to continue and go as far as you need them to go if you're going downwind.
Yeah, so clearly the big ones are the defense scoring upwind. So that'll be the story of this one.
So obviously the score hasn't updated here yet, but just to give you an indicator. I mean, I don't know why the thing is still showing 7:22 left on the clock there, but
So it's pretty early that New York went for the huck and hope.
yeah.
First play, they decide the wind is so strong. Let's just get the disc down the field.
I mean, we kind of did that too, right off the bat. So
That's true.
it's not really
pretty
that
early for us to do it too.
And yeah, you can just see like those turnovers come, with that huck and hope strategy. I mean, that's sometimes the way to get yourself going because it's really demoralizing every time you get that. They chuck it down the field. Even when you get the D, there's no satisfaction out of it. You're not thinking to yourself, oh, yes, we got a chance to score here because it's so difficult.
I'm just laughing at the screen. Stay connected. Like we can't click these. It was on the jumbo.
Yeah.
Jumbotron.
Just letting everybody know that we have these things available, That is really funny. So hopefully this overlay will get updated with the proper score, but it is 1-1 right now.
Comes and goes this game.
Still going downwind.
So they did it again here. Eh? They doubled on Sachin a little bit, making them. Oh, and I felt like Cam asked me. He felt like that was my fault, and I felt that was his fault. And when I watch it, I don't feel so good about it.
It was. Oh, Sachin with a big sky there. Over a couple guys. Who was that over? It was over me and Link, yeah. So, nice job by Sachin, making up for some of his, we chirped him a lot last game, so it's good for him to get one over Link there. That's good.
We'll still chirp him again later this game. There's a particular play that I'm looking forward to.
So, not sure what happened there.
So you can see right now this whole game has been end zone. End zone on the downwind side. Huck it down, and then teams have turned it right back consistently.
Because that's the thing. I mean, as I said, it's tough when you don't feel like getting those Ds when they're just hucking it are rewarding because it's going to be so difficult to work it up the field. It's such a chore trying to get it down, and
someone was saying that catch was out. I don't know. I guess we missed it. Was that?
See, well, I think he initially thought that he wasn't in, and but then I guess the referee called him in afterwards. So then they go with another
big huck,
and it looks like he got a hand on that, and it just popped right out of his hand. Unfortunately, there's Ed on the bottom left of the screen, 15-yard line. Yep. Snapping some sweet photos. And there, see, I'm pretty glad he got to that one.
So this is big, though. Getting the disc in this sort of wind, getting it upfield, that's really, that's going to be the story, for sure.
Yeah.
And we're able to, here we go, 1, 2 up the break. Okay, 1 off the break.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It's another one of those ones where you throw it out and it looks just perfect, just coming over the top, and you're like, oh, there we go, and it just keeps going up and up and up.
Just a showcase of Ultimate right now. This game is just. Do you want to get it on your phone?
Get it out on my phone?
Yeah, mine.
Oh, your battery's running up there. Okay, tips on throwing flat in the wind. Okay, that's a good question.
I think if we can, so that's definitely a good question, and I think we'll try to find an example of someone doing it well, and then talk about it.
Yeah, there's lots of examples of people messing it up.
Don't do anything that you've seen so far this game.
We can break out.
We've been responding to the comments. What does that even mean?
Come on now. I see some players who can kind of read the wind before it picks up. Any idea how they do that? I would disagree that players read the wind before it picks up. I think players recognize that the game is windy, and really good wind throws are just really good throws. I mean, you can get away with throwing with improper technique when there's no wind, but you just can't get away with it when there's wind. So you really all you're doing is really, really emphasizing proper technique on how to throw, and releasing at the proper angle and with enough wrist
I don't know though. When
snap.
so the first few throws in wind, I feel like you need those to figure out the wind for sure.
Right.
That helps a ton. But then you can definitely tell if it's a bit windier at one time or another, and like I don't exactly know what. There you go. That's a proper wind throw. And then I threw it away. But you can sort of you can tell by the gusts and everything. I'm not exactly sure what someone like who knows the wind does better than someone else, but first half was particularly bad. It was weird. The wind. I mean, it was definitely windy, but it wasn't so windy that it deserved to just huck it away. But then when I watched it, maybe it was because it's no one can complete a pass.
Yeah. Just give me a second here, guys. Okay, so here's another question. Who is good on New York besides Taylor/Keegan and Kocher? It's particularly in this game, Joss was playing really, really well. I think he had something like 5 or 6 goals and 3 assists and a couple of Ds. I mean, he was all over the place, all over the field for them. And he's just he's been a good player for those guys for a while now. And but I don't think he really gets a lot of recognition, or as much as he should, anyways, because he is a really good player. He's fast. He can get up.
I think New York had a tough matchup because they're really undersized. Like I was actually surprised at how much height we had across the board, and so that makes it a bit hard because their height guys, like it just goes matchups.
Yeah.
Like their height guys are against guys that are bigger than them, and it goes down the line. So I think we see that a bit in this game. But yeah, the Dross brothers always are top. They're missing players from last year, but I guess they're on. Some of them are on the Rumble. Is that right?
I think so. 1 second here, guys. Just trying to get up this. I got an ad playing here. Trying to get up this chat. Okay. I see the flags. I was thinking of getting something like that for tournaments.
Is that there?
Yeah, I got it now. Alright, so let's get back into this game here. What are you doing? Stop this. What are you doing? What? Okay, what was it? What were we doing wrong?
Just a button on the side. Their coach seems like a funny guy. Is that our coach or New York's coach?
So, funny story about New York's coach. Right before this game, so as you can see, obviously, it's super windy. And
oh, man. I remember this being bad, but holy, it is tough to watch right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And right before the game, a couple of their players were standing on the sideline right near their bench. And one of the signs, there's a couple of signs on the track right beside. And one of the signs blew over in the wind and bashed into a couple of their players. And their coach just lost it, and then went over to Mark Lloyd and said, "Mark, you need to fix this." And Mark's like, "What do you want me? I'm playing here. Don't come to me with this problem." It was really funny. It ended up getting resolved. They just tipped them all over, but it was just funny how immediately he was like, "Mark, this is on you. Go do something."
I think those things hit us too, but I think we laughed because it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and it's way funnier when it hits them too. So,
what's going on here?
Pick
call, it must be.
Pick down the field, yeah. You can see Cam making sure these catches now after that first drop. Adrian, any way to get an extra advantage
On the mark.
as a mark on a windy day? Well, I think you got to recognize which way that people are throwing. Are they throwing upwind or are they throwing downwind? Because downwind, the people's release points, you can kind of let the lower release points go a little bit because a low release point throw is not going to be your best option going downwind because the disc is just going to keep getting pushed down and you don't have to worry about it so much. Conversely, when the people are throwing upwind, your high release throws are probably not going to be very effective so you don't really have to worry about those so much. So you can stay a little bit lower, and because people are really going to have to get under the wind and try and stay low to throw with any sort of efficiency, I should say. So that would be what I'll say about that.
So New York looks like they had. We're seeing a lot of it.
What are we drinking? Oh, okay, good question. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I mean, maybe we're not getting paid by this company, so I don't want to plug them too hard. But SodaStream, it's just like a way to make your own sparkling water. It's pretty sweet. And so we just did a little bit of SodaStream sparkling water, throw a little bit of lime juice in there. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Otherwise, I'd be definitely getting wasted right now. So, yeah. See, this is just brutal. It's brutal. Just turnover city. Oh, there's a good question. Okay, so
there's no question at all. It's just a statement.
It is a good statement. Okay, that was a huge point there from JJ.
So here's some.
Go back a couple more seconds.
Go back a couple seconds.
Okay,
so this is JJ. He. So this is. I mean, let's set the scene here. It's 4-3. It's been just trading back and forth. No team's even been remotely close to getting the disc in this upfield end zone. Sick. What were you gonna say?
Adrian's points about marking upwind versus downwind are very underappreciated. Well, sounds like you appreciate them, so thank you. I was just going to say about JJ there. So this is something that we talked about a lot last game, was following the play. Especially in these kind of upwind situations when discs are going to float, follow the play. I can't stress that enough. Like, if we had a bunch of guys, so much of the time, the disc will go up in the air, a whole bunch of guys will attack it. Having a guy just trailing, waiting for it to jump over or sail over people's heads and float down easily to somebody is so key. And right there, JJ is following the play. He grabs it, dishes it off, and goes and gets not double happiness, but goes and gets the score right afterwards. Such a huge play by that guy who's super young dude, up and coming, and a total beauty. I was pretty pumped.
So just someone was asking about how to throw in the wind, and it's just you can see by how he has to center the disc, how windy it is, and what he feels like you need to do, and he really gets very low, puts his whole weight over the disc so he can send it like it's the release point. Like this is just an open throw to an unmarked person, and you can see how much it takes. That you have to get your weight all over it, and you have that release point very, very low to the ground, because if it goes up too much, the wind will catch it and throw it up. So that's usually what really you need to focus on to throw into the wind.
Well, what I was kind of saying before is that I kind of feel like that's just proper throwing technique. Like you could throw like that when there was no wind, and the throw would be exactly the same. It would end up going straight to him like that. But just when there's no wind, you can get away with not having to do that. Whereas in a high wind situation, you absolutely can't get away with that. Oh.
Yeah, I was pretty sure of that too. That we would score. Again. I did not think on this one, just the way the game had gone, I did not think New York was going to do that. I'll say one thing about this sort of win. So it's too early for us to do this, but generally in this sort of win, what you'll start to do is it'll change from offense and defense to more of an upwind and downwind sort of thing. So even if your team's going out on defense, you'll put your best throwers off in your offense on going so that they go upwind, so they can get those throws. And maybe that might have worked for New York, because you see their offense got on the field, and they were able to go up and score.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they should have put their offense on earlier. Maybe they did, actually. I haven't been looking at the roster, but...
So now they've put a little bit of a zone on us here, which makes sense in a win like this. You can understand that. But I find that our team in general is actually a pretty good zone team. We have a lot of great disc skills on the team, so we do quite well in these kinds of situations. Okay, that was a crazy one. Actually, can we
There's
look
no
at
way this was up.
So
that's down right there, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's down right there, at least.
Is it? Like, wait, go back 1 second.
I can go back 3 seconds.
Okay. Because you can kind of see my hand is there. See, if it's...
Come on. You're a cheater.
I mean, I couldn't really see what was happening.
Yeah, well, you can see right now.
No, but look, my hand is there, like right underneath it. Like, is my hand underneath it all the way?
I don't have an enhance. I don't have an enhance.
I wish we could zoom in on this because I would be interested because I know that I got my hand under it, whether it had already touched the ground.
There's a comment that it's clearly down, and you're the cheater of the week.
Yes. You know what? I'm okay with that. As long as I'm the cheater of the week, I don't want to just be a common cheater.
It was funny. I can't believe, nothing just happened. Everyone just... I was surprised that nothing got... I guess there's nothing to be said. The ref called it.
The ref actually specifically said, nope, he got his hand under it. It was up. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it was all for naught, as he couldn't keep his hands on it. Oh. That was nice. Thanks, man.
That was... Yeah, that helped a lot, actually.
Yeah, that was huge. That would have rolled so far back. Okay, we got a... Oh, jeez. Another one.
Another
follow the play. Follow the play. Okay. We got another question here. Do you prefer playing on a football field? The lines help for the penalties, but besides that... I don't really think that it affects me at all, playing on a football with all the other lines on it. I never think about it. The only time I ever think about it is when there's a penalty and I have to move forward or backwards 10 yards, and then it makes so much sense to have the lines there. Other than that, it really doesn't affect me at all, and you can't really see them. Well, actually, you can see them fairly well here, but they've actually painted lines on the field for us. Varsity has around the perimeter. Which is pretty nice and very helpful for that. But, other than that, I have no problem playing on a football field.
Tips for tracking a bouncing disc. I got two things there. One is that you you should usually overcompensate. If you see the disc, cutting in like an IO or an OI, really overcompensate on the angle that the disc is, so that you can get a really good read, and then go to it instead of trying to stay under it and really match it. Really go too far and then attack it. And the second thing is just use two hands.
Yeah.
In the wind, it's so big to be able to really get your hands out and wide, so that if it bounces or anything like that, you can just catch it in your hands.
What I find too is attacking it is pretty big. When a lot of times when it's bouncing and you wait for it to come into you, it's really tough to catch it. But when you actually go after it with two hands and go for the catch, it's way easier. So that's a good.
Pretty good fake to throw the.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Throw the defender on the ground.
Back here. If I recall correctly, the whole crowd was like, "Ooh!"
Yeah,
which was pretty exciting. Number 81. Why? Well, kind of came out when I first joined GOAT. On U of T and on Grand Trunk, prior to that, I had been number 3. And but when I joined GOAT, number 3 was taken by a guy named Brett Taylor, who's an Ottawa dude.
Oh man, that's big.
Huge dude there.
So this is one of the biggest things. Is they're doing? Oh, there's 1 second left. Never mind. It's nothing.
So I had to choose another number, and I still wanted it to be a multiple, a 3/power of 3, just because I like the number 3. And 81 is a good wide receiver number, and so I was pretty pumped about that.
Just hucking it. Well,
I mean, you can understand why when...
Yeah, I guess he's just open.
It's 20 yards open.
You don't really want to be... Yeah.
Do I mind if my name is being exposed on Reddit with a video showing a blatant cheat? Well, I don't know if the video really shows a blatant cheat, but...
I mean, it shows that the disc was clearly down.
It shows that it was clearly down. But if that means that I'm the cheater of the week, please do so. Love it. As I said, I don't want to just be a common cheater.
Yeah, I want to, probably a lot of people cheated this week. So I think it's a bit unfair to say that was right there the biggest.
You think it's unfair to say that?
Well, we don't know. We've only seen the one play.
I would hope if I'm going to cheat, it would be the cheat of the week. Oh, Thompson.
Oh.
See, that's what I was talking about. When you're throwing downwind, it just gets beaten down. That low release.
Yeah, you really got to put it up.
The low release does not work.
Well, it's actually an interesting thing because you're throwing upwind, and if you really focus on fundamentals, that can actually kind of hurt you. If you really, really step into it and throw it, like you have to throw like a high release almost to throw into the wind like that, which can be an unusual one.
Yeah, and some of us, like Link, throws a lot of high release stuff, so it's easy for him, myself as well, but some guys just really aren't used to throwing high releasers. So here we are. We better score this, otherwise I'll be pretty pissed. Looks like that was
Does the disc base rule apply? Yeah.
It does, but I agree with you.
Called very often.
The double teams sometimes are so ridiculously close, and people have such a hard time pivoting. I don't really get the rules around double teaming in that respect, because sometimes they seem like such clear fouls.
There are a lot of fouls called on double teams. I'd say half of the time there's a double team, there's a foul called.
But I would also say that only half of the time that there is.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Only half of the time that there is a foul.
Yeah,
on a double
Jackie.
team, it is called sick D there by Jack. Jackie's arms are really long. I feel like he gets a number of Ds like that because people don't expect him to be able to reach the disc that he does.
Oh, that's a pretty good play by Mark.
Picked his pocket.
And then that's a classic. I just made a sweet play, so I have a free one.
Yeah.
And you do.
Which
I have no fault on that. You have a free one. He made a play that play would have been a turnover. He got the
You can do
let it go.
But do you think you carry a bigger responsibility of not cheating being a semi-pro player? Yeah, I would say. If anybody had seriously told me, Adrian, that disc was down, I would have deferred to their judgment because I really didn't know what had happened. I know that I got a hand under it. Whether it bounced first, I was diving and it's really quick. And the only information that I got was information from the referee who said he got his hand under it. It was up. Nobody else said a word. So I'm like, okay. And even as Jeff was saying, like everybody just kind of went along with it. And as I said, if somebody else had kind of looked at me in the eye and said, "Hey, that was down," probably would have.
Do you think? Do you think you carry a bigger responsibility? I don't know if I feel like you carry a bigger. I think, like.
I think everybody carries responsibility to not be a cheater.
I guess I feel like I don't care if you're just playing like Monopoly with your friends. Like, don't cheat. Like
yeah, but it's Monopoly, right? You're supposed to cheat.
Cam did not play General Strike with Lloyd. You were thinking.
I don't think Cam. You're thinking of Cam Burton. Yeah, Cam Harris has never played General Strike.
Stream is looking like it's. I'm looking at the stream.
Yeah, see, now we missed it. We missed what just happened. Go back.
Yeah, look, he's saying the stream. I thought looking at the stream. It was jumping.
Well, somehow we scored there. We'll never know how. Oh, nice.
So,
nice beat down there by that guy.
We did get a couple upwind breaks here to take a 9-5 lead, which is, it feels like a fairly comfortable lead in such a windy game.
Yeah.
So here's a double team.
That should have been a foul. I think it was a foul. Yeah. Okay. Here, you know what's crazy that I didn't really see much of this game. Just before we talk about the plays, is downwind pulling. I didn't think it was very much of a factor. So in the AUDL, I'll start with in the USAU Ultimate, if a pull bounces inbounds and then rolls out the back of the end zone, you get to bring it to the front of the end zone and check it in from there. But in the AUDL, you do not have that luxury. If it bounces inbounds and rolls off the back, you got to stop. You have to play it from the back of the end zone. So I was actually very surprised that didn't come into play more in this game. That people were throwing huge bombs and rolling them out the back. Especially after that very first throw of the game, it just sailed out the back. It seems like it would have been really easy to get it down there, but it never really happened.
Is Sachin watching the stream and texting me?
Yeah, I think so.
Use the comments,
Yeah,
Sachin.
just comment, okay? I can't keep going back and forth. Unless you have something really racy to say, in which case, go ahead and text me. Okay, what was the...
Let's look at the plays. We haven't talked about any of the plays. So, they ran their flood stack, and they sent the handler up into the lane. And they have been doing flood stack, side stack. They're not flooding. They've been doing a side stack the whole game, which I see more and more teams doing that. Ottawa did that all last week, too. And you can see they're just sending one-on-one into the lane until they finally hooked it to Martinez.
Yeah, pretty casual D there by Martinez. But that's a good point because, generally speaking, it's really tough to run plays in the wind like this because, and what a sweet throw there by Jared.
JJ was his second big one.
Huge one by JJ. He's really long, too.
And that's a big throw from Jackie.
Jack. He doesn't usually like his backhand all that much, so that's a pretty big throw. But yeah, as I was saying, plays are tough because generally speaking, your outcut is much less respected, especially going upwind. So it's really tough to run those kind of misdirection plays when a lot of time your defender is not even respecting that deep cut, which is how a lot of plays start by somebody cutting deep and then coming under afterwards. So you really got to make your plays more east-west than north-south.
Here they got a horizontal, it looks like. It's too bad we can't see the cutters here, but so this is not good for them. They're just going backwards.
Backwards, which is really bad.
They don't look very long into the lane. Only like 1 second and they're back on the this catch.
Oof.
Oh.
Just right to Carroll there. That was unfortunate. Oh, Jones.
Man. He had Carroll for 3 seconds.
Well, the problem is that he faked that throw twice and then threw it.
That's a big one. Never throw the exact throw you're faking a few times in a row.
Usually it's bad. And now they get one. Somebody following the JJ equals JJ Edwards. John Martin is Martinez.
No one really knows, but why?
Yeah, it just kind of happened one time. Now he's Martinez.
They did a roller. I'm surprised how they should have been able to get that farther.
Yeah.
Like they rolled and we're at the 40 on
that's
the first.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to me that they weren't able, or neither team really, were able to get those rollers to the end zone. That was a sweet upwind throw there by Cam. See, one thing that we're doing really well on this point is having proper spacing. We never had guys cutting into the same space there, which is especially difficult when, as I said, when you're going upwind. Generally speaking, the guys are playing you pretty far under, but we actually did a really good job staggering those cuts so that nobody was running into each other.
It amazes me how much of the game you remember. We're actually watching the game. I think that's probably a big factor.
No, but as you watch it, you kind of remember what's going on.
I'm just joking with you.
Is Powell injured? I haven't seen him play yet this season. Yes, he is injured.
Nice catch.
Oh, that was sweet.
I know.
Oh, wait, yeah, we got.
Let's watch this. Boom.
Head facing us. Is he looking at us?
He's looking at the bench.
I think he might be looking at the crowd because we're on the left of this flag here. Let's see. No, wait. Can we watch it one more time? You're going the wrong way.
I'm going the wrong way. Oh, you want to watch it again? Sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading the comments.
Because we're on the left side of the flag here. So
big catch.
Huge catch.
Boom. Why would you look at the crowd?
He was looking at the crowd. I don't know. But I think he was. He does have a great stash, so I'll give him that.
I wish we could see our stack.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's a catch.
Nice little snag there by Link. So this is how we got to go here. We got to keep that moving. See, there's a bit of a weird cut there by Thompson.
See, I think each one of these times that our guy catches the disc, I think we should be turning to throw it around to the break side.
Always. We got it.
So right here, see how he turned to that? I would have liked him actually to turn the other way.
Turn right back.
But then again, Cam has
not a lot of
had
people
a bit of leniency.
Can just do that at will. That was pretty sick. Number 81 didn't jump. Lazy defense there. Yeah, I can't argue with that one. I definitely took one too many steps, unfortunately. But that's his life,
That's not good. We just gave him an easy one out.
Looks like we.
Yeah, Sachin was out of the way. I think he watched the stream. Last week. We talked about it a lot of times about where Sachin should go, and I think he watched it and made the adjustments.
Yeah, you're welcome, Sachin. Nice upward point there by them.
New York?
By New York, yeah. That was good. See, I just love seeing good upwind flow, even if it's from the other team sometimes, just because it's so difficult. But when people can do it, it just makes me so happy because it's so hard. Again, there's another roller pull just past the 40-yard line. I don't know what's going on. Here we go, Cam.
Looks like we've got a horizontal there. I kind of like, actually, the camera guy because he's not showing our plays, but he seems to show New York's plays. Every time New York's on offense, the whole thing's there. But here, try to get something. I like it.
That's pretty funny.
Actually, I thought the other ones have been better than this one.
Yeah. Nice little slide catch there by Satch.
So if you play in the league and you're doing this, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop tapping the disc. I've had a number of people say that hadn't watched Ultimate at all come watch the game, and they said, I think I got most of the rules, but why did people keep tapping the disc down, and what did that mean? And so just eliminate that.
I think some people just do it to kind of center themselves.
I do it. Because it used to be sometimes it's the case, but just that's a reminder to myself as well. Don't do it.
That was a sweet D though by New York there.
That was the one where Isaiah puts his hand out and says, "Throw it to me," and then he does. So the right were there,
and then the defender's like, "Oh, that's sweet." Oh, here that was an interesting one. Where I mean, he was at the back on that one, anyways, but. Where he actually this guy got called on an offensive.
Oh yeah, an offensive foul.
Interference. So you can see he's coming, and he.
Oh, you know what he did? He totally ran into him.
His body runs right into Nate as Nate goes up for the D, and then goes back to try and.
So the funny thing about this is, so this happened, and then I remembered this. I was pissed because I lost my D.
Yeah.
And I had no idea until I watched this that some guy actually went and caught it. So
I think he would have been out of bounds. I think he left his feet.
No, he was in.
Wait, hold on, go.
Oh no. He's in.
Oh yeah, I guess you got a hand to it before.
So
yeah.
So I thought I lost my D, and I was upset. And then no, wouldn't have been a D anyways.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, offensive pass interference, so immediate turnover. But
that's the first time I've ever seen that.
That actually was a good call because he definitely intentionally moved his body into Nate before trying to go and catch it. So
I think we have some of the best refs.
Yeah,
they make some calls that I would never have saw. I don't think.
Yeah, even sometimes against us, and I'm pissed about it, but I'm like, you know what, you got us. So we're upfield now. I don't know what happened there. I think
did not see a foul.
And that's a pretty safe bet. Go into the end zone for streaking Armitage.
Since they made that push off foul, there was years ago, I pushed off against.
I still don't think that was a foul.
I just remember him just running into me for 3 seconds before that, and then I got the foul against me. So, no, I don't think my positioning has changed. Certainly not by that play at that time.
Yeah, I think that GIF tells a very, tells a very like poor perspective of for that story, because it really doesn't show accurately how much contact there was before that happened.
Wild
nice
play
D there by the boys. And it sucks because it sucks for New York, because I find that those kind of double teams right around the end zone almost always result in a immediate score. So I'm pretty pumped that we ended up getting a D there. Hoping we can get this one here. So they're doing a pretty good job here of
nice job.
Nice fake there by Jack. I mean, everyone thought he was definitely going to throw that. Yeah, they're actually.
Big Scuba.
What a sweet throw! Just to
Jay. Well, I mean JJ is lighting it up, so just put it up to him.
Yeah,
and then
a
push pass.
Okay.
That's another time that the bench certainly went nuts.
Yeah, we were pumped about that. Yeah, so they're actually doing a really good job on their marks there. I don't know if you were noticing that on that point, but really challenging our dumps. So as our guys would look upfield for the first 3 seconds, their marks are a normal flick mark, and as soon as our guy squares up, as we were talking about in the last video, and starts to look dump, the mark curls all the way around and is a little bit behind them to really challenge that dump. And it makes that a really tough throw, so we have to go up the field. Luckily, our cutters were doing a great job getting open, so every time the guy had to look back upfield, he had an option.
So I still don't understand, although I guess it's not so bad, they send it back, but I still don't understand doubling the reset. But actually, they really went back here. I kind of, maybe I'm okay with that one.
I didn't agree with that.
And it was off a pull. I think it's better off a pull. Two unnecessarily complicated passes.
Nice D there by
That's not. I'm not sure I agree with that one. Scuba and push passes are. I mean,
especially downwind. In a strong downwind, a push pass can be pretty deadly. And Scuba's as well, but especially a push pass can be pretty sweet when you can kind of just throw it up in the air and the wind will carry it the rest of the way. Adrian, do you still flick with both hands? I don't know if I ever actually was able to throw a good left-handed flick. I could throw little left-handed backhands, mostly just when I'd broken my finger at Canadian Nationals a couple years ago. I played and I threw a couple of lefty backhands, but I don't know if I ever really mastered the lefty flick. You'd have to throw it in a game anyways with a mark on me. Okay, here's an end of quarter situation, which we work on a lot, but are really tough, and it's going to be even tougher in the wind like this, going upwind. I mean, this is a tall order, and I'm not sure.
There's no way. I can tell you right now from watching this, there's no way that this worked out.
In order for this to work out at all, we need to be able to move it up the field at least.
You can't just
to the 50-yard line.
I'm of the opinion that if you're gonna huck it, you have to have your thrower catch it in motion and huck it. If you throw it to him backfield, forget about it.
Totally. That said, we did do a pretty good job there in that we didn't give the disc back to them. Because the worst thing you can do there, when there's only 16 seconds left on the clock, is hold it for 5 seconds and then immediately turn it over. They pick it up, they launch one down the field and get a quick score at the end of the half. So,
no, I think that was our strategy, but yeah. Second half. So we're up 17-9 here, and that must be. Oh, what am I doing? I missed a ton of the game. Sorry, guys.
No, I don't.
No, I did. It said 8. It said it was at 8 minutes.
Yeah, how did you skip so much time? It's crazy.
No, it's the second half. I skipped all halftime.
Yeah.
So here we got. It looked like a split stack. 1, 2. Was that to Sachin? That first one? No, it was to Cam.
Yeah. So you can notice that we're getting a lot of unders here, and that's a product of the opposite of what I was talking about before. Is that when your plays going upwind, it's really difficult for them to respect your deep cuts. On the other side, when you're going downwind, they have to respect every deep cut, and they have to respect it for a long time. Because when throws can come out so late, and they can come so fast that even way after you think it's useful or proper for them to still throw it, a throw could still come out and go right by you. So they have to be playing so hard on the deeps that we're able to come under and work it up the field pretty easily. And here we are, and they...
Look at that camera. Really zoomed in on that disc here.
Wow.
JJ,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
This sucks.
This is it. Okay, so let me just go back for a couple seconds here. So now, as this huck is going up, we're all saying, okay, what's about to happen? And then we see that JJ at this point,
I'm just laughing at the camera.
Is way ahead of the guy who was on offense. The guy who was on offense is completely given up.
I mean, I was on the sideline yelling, like, come on, you got to get it for the D. Just for the stat. Like, the guy had just stopped or whatever.
So everyone thinks, okay, JJ's going to go. He's going to run. He's just going to whack it down.
Just touch it.
Straight down.
Remy
just get himself a little D there on the stat sheet. Instead, he catches it. Now he's like, all right. Now
nobody's with him.
and then right before that happens, so he takes one pivot, looks upfield, and holds the disc up like he's about to throw it. Makes a frisbee move, if you will. And
clearly he did.
Clearly. And then Mark is running down the middle of the field and goes, JJ, walk it up. Now JJ is not going to say, no, Mark, I know better than you. So JJ says, okay, well, sure, sounds good. Starts walking up, and then obviously that's a throw or travel. And we immediately give them the disc right on the end zone line, which was pretty tragic. But,
if this weren't a 16-8 game, we would have a...
Pretty pissed. But, you can't
So, what's
do
this
much,
about? So they centered the disc.
I don't understand why
I didn't
the disc was
understand that
centered
either.
there. But,
maybe a turn in the end zone is just center. I mean, clearly,
but
that's just what happened.
Immediately picked anyway, so they go back 10 yards.
Let's look at what do they run in their end zone? So this is as much of a set play as you can get.
3 of them all cut to the exact same spot.
Okay, that'd be a pick, so that's why that was called.
Which is why
so they ran they ran a pick often.
Yeah.
So now here they're running 2 guys in motion just coming under. I guess he's just open. Their handler, I don't like that as much for them. That their handler is just standing in the break lane, I guess waiting. And then because of that, they lose 10 yards. I would have liked that to go well, but they beat us to the cone there for a goal.
Yeah, I remember Mark being pretty upset about himself.
He had a couple of bids that I thought were going to get him, but just missed.
Yeah, he's moving well. I think because I know he was a bit nervous to bid like that in the past couple of games, but it seems like he's lost that hesitation. So that's.
So we got a split stack we're running here. It looks like.
Thompson puts up a. That was really good D.
Yeah, that was. That's a tough one because Cam was clearly scared to attack it because of the wind.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not much you can do about that. I mean, maybe if somebody yells at him and tells him that somebody's coming, he can go for it. But I mean, even then, that's a pretty tough one.
I guess
a foul in the end zone is always centered. See, but that's the thing is that it wasn't a foul. It was a throw or travel, right? So does a throw or travel count as a foul? I don't think so. Maybe it does, but I was not under the impression that it did. Nice little inside break there by Izzy. And you can see Cam really, really making sure, getting his entire body behind that and clamping down on the...
Which is why he just got D'd the time before.
Yeah, exactly. So,
think about that.
Good job for him. So
we are going backfield.
Way back. But see, that was a good job by Rumi there. So if we want to... Actually, here, let's just go back for a second here. So I think this is something that you should always do on offense. So see how he throws from the break side to the open side and immediately cuts across the field into the open side. That is textbook offense. Because you can't stay in that break lane. You can't just be there and clogging it up. You have to free that. And at the very least, you clearing across the field into that open side makes your guy have to follow you. If he's yelling, strike, strike, or whatever, or roll, then maybe they switch off, you get a fresh stall count. Maybe he says close, and the guy jumps over to the open side, giving the guy throwing a really easy break.
And you can see right away when you throw it ahead if the thrower has a good person to throw to, and if they do, you might not make the cut, but you can have a look right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what happened here? They're just it's tough because there's been a lot of unforced errors this game, and you don't really want to see that. You want to see big plays and big defense. Could that clear cut off a continuation of field? So yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You should be able to look up and see the continuation and really quickly decide to stop that cut or continue it. And I think it is actually, I think that onus to see the continuation is on you.
Yeah.
You should be focusing and looking for that. Is there a very obvious throw for him to hit? If so, actually you still make that cut up, and you actually will angle your cut to set up for that throw.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Then you can cut into the stack.
Yeah.
Either way, you have to just get out of that break lane because your defender standing there kills the entire break side.
So that
was a sweet.
But that's the sort of win that we're at. That you put that, like, he doesn't even really have a target here. Just, I mean, maybe he does, but you just know the wind's gonna hold it up, so he's able to just put it out there and throw. They probably needed to look for that. So did we. I mean, I keep forgetting, like, there's been a million turns each way. Like, as much as we're up a lot, feels like it could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Really, like, it's just turn after turn for the start of the game. But it has settled down a lot. Nice, Nate. So, yeah, we're getting huge unders here. And I guess that's because they're scared of us hucking downwind, but...
Oof. Nice try there,
it feels like we're getting a bit too big unders.
That's what I was saying before. They're exactly as you said. They're afraid of us hucking downwind, so they're really biting on those deeps going downwind. Because clearly we're not afraid to throw them. I mean,
that's true.
We're not connecting all that well on them, but they're coming. So
I think our size is an issue in this game for them for sure.
Yeah. 81. That was your man. You know what? Probably was.
Nice, Cam. Nate had no chance on that one.
But good for him for being there because shit. Thompson.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez, Thompson. That was a tough one. Oh, big play here.
Oh, what?
Come on, cameraman. That was a sweet.
I mean,
deep.
You could tell the pole was in the way, and there's no way that he actually a great cameraman move because he saw that it was blurry. And he didn't want to show this blurry thing, so he actually did that. So it's actually like great work by the cameraman.
Ball, but come on.
We got a professional cameraman, and except that we didn't see that play. That was actually really sweet. He came over his left shoulder and just did
it. Is Rumi sticking around after Worlds? That's a good question.
I don't even know
it, but who knows? Maybe we'll make a convert out of him. Who knows? Rumi is pretty sick.
Yeah,
That was
right?
That wasn't his fault.
I mean, but when you're going to talk about him, I think you got to say that it is. Look at it. Look at what he's doing.
Yeah, that's
look
not
at this.
his fault. You think that was Rumi's
well,
fault?
Look at how unhappy Rumi is. Let's look at his reaction. We'll let him decide if it's his fault. Oh man, I think I messed up. Yeah, if you saw it,
I feel like he would have the exact same reaction if he just turfed it immediately. Like,
yeah, he just did turf it immediately.
No, he didn't. He didn't turf it.
Why isn't Harris a D-line?
Why isn't Harris a D-line handler like Neff Ironside? I mean, he could be.
He has been, actually.
Yeah, we've used him like that before. I think just right now, things are clicking on our O-line, and we've got Mark Lloyd kind of playing that role on our D-line. Obviously, he's a cutter, but he's got great throws, and when push comes to shove, he's a guy that we can rely on to.
Man, why isn't Isaiah D-line cutter with those sort of hands?
He's had a couple of bobbles like that this game, unfortunately. But tough wind.
So this was an interesting one.
That was a weird one.
So so the call here was foul after the turn.
Yeah, which I think was the appropriate call, because it definitely was out. And this is what I was saying. One of the guys was having a little bit of a meltdown. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, dude, like I think it was a foul, but I don't know that means it gets a disc back because
so we're 10 yards back here
when the foul happened.
Is what the rule was. So instead of taking it on the line, we took it 10 yards back.
Well, no, he actually gave us. He said that the catch happened at the 10-yard. The catch would have happened at the 10-yard line, so it's 10 yards back from where the catch would have happened.
Oh, does anyone know if that's true?
Which was weird.
That seems like a weird one.
I guess that must be the rule. I mean, he probably knows it better than us, but I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the rules, but I'm pissed.
Yeah, this is definitely a marathon point that we are in the middle of right now. And watch the. Oh wait, no.
No, this is going to be.
One.
I don't.
No, I'm about to.
You get out of there, Adrian. That was garbage.
It wasn't garbage.
Well, I had no cut, so I had to throw it all the way across.
I was open right off the bat. You didn't throw it to me.
I'm not gonna. Okay, that was garbage.
That wasn't good. But these flicks, man, upwind are tough. Some people are just ripping them, and kudos, because I do not have that upwind super bomb.
So I let's look at this. I don't like this. So they have the disc here. So I don't really think that this is the best. So then they throw it right here. So they center the disc. And then this guy is down here, number 6. He has to be thrown to because of where he is and because he's not moving. But it's not really good for their offense for them to do this.
Yeah.
So they just go and he could have done anything there. This is what we were talking about with Sachin last week.
Yeah.
Go strike. Get into a really strong position. Don't let don't let the defender jog on and put the mark on. So if you're watching this, that's big, and probably what should happen because of where he is. He should just clear out of there and let a cutter come in for a lot of yards. But because of that, they have to send it all the way back. So that cutter that he threw to, he should have been able to get the one from the last pass.
10 yards earlier than that.
And so they're the turnover because of that.
Yeah. That was 100% because of what happened. And this is a brutal one. Because it didn't actually roll out of the end zone, it just rolled to the back corner. We only had 10 seconds to pick it up rather than 20.
Right.
And after this marathon point, it's already gone on like 3 or 4 minutes. It's just brutal. Having to run to pick up the frisbee is so annoying.
6 equal Gary Dixon.
Well,
I watch at least 1.5 hours.
About an hour and a half a week.
About how much footage? No,
I always try and watch one game from outside of our division. Oh, this was a weird one where...
Was this a pick?
No. It was an offensive push-off foul. So this was right before the... Okay. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again.
The ref said that?
Yeah. And I was like, What?
Okay, you know what? Sorry, if he's gonna say it that aggressively, I want to see what you did.
Yeah.
So you are not yet cheater of the week,
Now I am.
but we have to see.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already done it.
Yeah,
Okay.
go back.
So you're not yet. Let's see. Does this make Adrian cheater of the week? Was the play already there? Have you already done the foul?
Yeah, I just did it.
I do see at one split
point,
second
I
you place your
him.
shoulder. You do put your elbow, but it doesn't look like
I'm not pushing off on him. I think
it doesn't look like you reach out. Yeah.
I think I touched him, and he's like, "No, don't do that. Don't ever do that." And I was like, "What?" And then he actually looked at me afterwards, and he was like, "I don't know, man. That was weird." But then, hold on. So then on this one, so I guess it's coming in on 5, which is already goal because that was a bullshit foul call. 1, 5, 6. I don't know. I guess, and then stalled down because of that, which is ridiculous.
I got a text here. Why are people texting? Just go type in the chats. Did you notice their double team was holding hands at the end of half? I didn't notice that.
No, but
I'll watch
cool.
their double team. I mean,
that's cool. Yeah, that's really nice. See, everyone is just so gassed at this point. Nobody wants to be on the field right now. Just stuff. How long? Oh, watch this. Oh,
nice
no,
one, Adrian.
No,
yeah, I'm glad we watched that. No, that's sweet.
This one. No.
Nice, Adrian.
I know it's this point
cool.
that I just
nice.
Rip a backhand and it's so bad.
No, those are good. Those are 2 very good throws.
Oh, this was. Oh no.
You know what? Is this a travel? Okay, so I actually watched this.
Another weird one.
I watched this. It's not weird. He traveled.
Really?
Just flat out he traveled.
Okay, let's see it.
Just watch it. He took that extra one. I'm saying right here. 1, 2, 3, and then right here he stopped and he does another 3.
Okay.
I think I actually watched that earlier and I agreed that was a travel.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's I'll chalk that up to not. I won't chalk that up to cheating. I'll chalk that up to fatigue. I think it actually just took him an extra step to stop himself because we've been out there for like 5 minutes at this point.
So and he did not like this.
No,
so our team called a timeout, which means everyone's off. He's off. He did not want to be off at this point. You don't want to have a call go against you and then be taken off the field. It doesn't feel good.
No, what he said was that he was trying to stop, exactly, and that it just took him that many steps to stop, which I think is true. But I think it just took him a few too many steps to stop than the ref wanted. Cheater of the week confirmed. Oh, yeah. Damn. Okay, no, that's good. I wanted that. That's good.
It's not good.
That's good.
So we got our O out on offense here, going up wins. There's a lot of pressure. I feel like there's decent pressure being put on. More pressure than normal when you go in for like your D line.
Yeah, upwind especially. You don't want to get broken, and you really don't want to play D at this point. Oh,
is this the one?
I didn't come up. Yeah.
Boom.
You know what? Though it looks so good.
No,
out of my hand.
No, it doesn't.
So good.
No, none of that's true. None of that's true.
So good. You don't know that.
I don't know what it felt like, but
exactly.
I know what I felt like when I watched it. And it felt like,
so
okay, that's terrible. That's how I felt.
That's what I was talking about. And I felt like a million bucks,
okay.
And then it just kept going out of bounds. I was really upset. And then we definitely get scored on here, which I was also upset about.
Which means we did get broken on our D. No, he didn't catch it. Okay.
No, but I think we got scored on afterwards. Oh, yeah. And then, I remember. And then I think Rumi... although that was a sweet bid and he almost got it, I think he takes an injury there. Getting Mark back on the field.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I'm sure Mark was pumped about.
So, yeah, that's what we're watching here. We're watching an injury sub.
So, yeah, this point has been at least 4 or 5 minutes long.
I remember they just came so close to so many on down in the second half.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like it's going to work. can tell you, just every throw from there has not worked all game. I don't know. People keep putting them. It was impossible. That throw was impossible.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I didn't even need to see anything to know that was a turn. Like, I remembered it, sure.
Whoa,
And that
did
helped.
you see the color just change there?
That's the light. That's the yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and that's just tiredness, eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Damn it. Trash talk.
What's the
I like this though.
What's the trash talk part of that?
I don't know. But
clearly, the implication is we do not miss it, or else it wouldn't start with trash talk.
Trash talk. Do you miss Lloyd's metrosexual look, slim fit white shirt, thin tie when he was coaching you last year? No. I mean, we get to see that when he comes into the stadium, anyways. So it's just now we don't get to see it for the whole game. But we get to see it for a little bit, which is nice. So we're good. We get our fill of Lloyd looking sharp, no problem. Oh, that's tough.
Nice, Army.
Oh, jeez, Sachin almost with the early jump, but makes a quick adjustment. That was nice.
I really like these new hats.
Really? I still haven't even gotten one yet.
Yeah, well, I got mine.
But the one that I did get, I find that the head bowl, it's really shallow.
What do you mean the one you did get? You just
I got one, but it was too big.
Oh,
so I gave it, and it was too wide around the crown. But even still, the head bowl was too shallow. So if I was to get a smaller one, it would be even shallower. So I don't think that would help me all that much.
So we're going into the fourth quarter here. So yeah, it's just teams do this flood or side stack. It's very common nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Is there a dress code? Oh, that was a good run. Is there a dress code for before and after games like in hockey? Yes, there is. For the Rush, we have to show up in shirt and tie. And
I don't own it. I do not own it.
Not everybody follows the dress code, but there is a dress code. So if you're looking for someone to walk in the stadium casual, look no further than right here. But if you're looking for someone to walk in looking sharp, look no further than right here.
Hi, A. Fexel.
Yeah, what's up?
Keep on. If you trip on a hat on
the field... Hold on.
Sachin, so
wait.
This is the one I was talking about at the beginning.
Okay. First of all, pretty good upwind pull. All the way to our end zone.
Oh,
Kaboom.
wow.
Kaboom. One more time. And...
Best in the biz at picking up the pole and throwing it to the...
Oh, kaboom. One more time. There it is.
He sat. Okay, maybe we can give him a call and ask him what. Do you want to give him a call? I know he's on his phone.
Yeah, he's around his phone. I know he's there. That's pretty good.
That's 2 turns in 2 games now.
That's okay. Thompson is ready.
Of either dropping the pole or turning the pole right away. Oh, this was a big one.
Nice try.
I remember this. So this is I'm gonna show here. This is. I talked about other times how not to double team, and so what I would think you wouldn't want to have Thompson's guy go and run on double team right now because they're going to get the reset.
Yeah.
But here's what happens in this case. So I got stuck where I was blocking the lane, and then I watched my guy at the bottom of the screen there. I watch him
on the right of the screen.
At the right of the screen. Sorry, I watch him kind of go, and he's clearly clearing out. So that, in my opinion, look what he's doing. He's clearing out. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even know that I'm not even going with him at all.
Yeah.
And in this sort of situation, in this sort of cluster, in my opinion, that's the perfect time.
Okay, hold on.
To throw that double team on. So here, I throw that double team on. My guy doesn't do it, and they turn it. And I was pretty pumped about it. You couldn't see that I did a big fist pump there, but
I can imagine how it looked.
But I stand by that. That's the kind of double teams. It's basically when a guy clears out to the wrong way. throw it on.
Yeah, that's a good call. Big rip here by Izzy. Perfect. And there you go. Good seal out there by Cam. That's a tough one. When Cam gets around his guy like that, you can literally just lob it out. Unless he makes the most athletic play in the entire world, there's no way he's going to be able to get that. So great seal out there.
They still, I thought I saw some guys go over. I can't see what they're doing here, but maybe that was flood and they just throw guys into lane one after another. It just seems like when you are playing against a team bigger than you and I think in some situations faster, I'm sure they have some matchups that just sending one-on-ones into the lane. I was saying the same about Ottawa, that it's a tough thing to consistently do all game and win the game.
Well, it really doesn't seem like a safe bet. Okay, there's a question here. Is there much of a difference between Shooter and Dime's coaching styles and strategies? There's definitely a difference between their coaching styles. I would say that... wait, hold on a second. No, you don't have to go back, but another one for Shooter.
Oh.
Big turnover saved. Huge timeout call there. Well done, Shooter. But anyways, back to the coaching styles. I would say that Dime's coaching style is very hands-off. And especially in practice. And, he has a great mind for strategy. But I think Shooter likes to be a little bit more hands-on, which is great. And that's kind of generally what I would say. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I remember times that we'd run on the field and Dime would come and just create this play that he just thought of like 2 minutes before, and he'd like draw this up and we'd do it, and it was like... I think Dime really enjoyed the creative aspect of being a coach and like coming up with these funny things. I know one of my favorite things about Dime was that he very often called only 6 people on, and so I always was number 7. If I wasn't already on the field, I was always number 7. So I got maybe 5 points a game by just running on because I could hear him only call 6, and then I'd get the point, and then he'd be thankful that I went on.
Like, you got my back. What? Oh.
No, it's the videos are always 2, so it's just switched to a second.
See, that was a sweet bid by Izzy.
No, so this is actually a great point. So Martinez got the disc. He sees the New York cutter wide open. So he puts a perfect huck. Just perfect huck to the New York guy. Like, it's great. It's a perfect huck. And Isaiah makes an incredible D to fingertip that D out of his hand. Yeah. Like, that's awesome.
And you can see how pissed the New York guy was. He was like, I was right to me.
He had it. Money. So, I mean, great play by Isaiah. Great huck by Martinez, really, too. Yeah. Right? It was just a great play. Like, Martinez, that Isaiah was able to get that fingertip D.
Yeah.
Now let's hope that Isaiah can get another D because we're on defense now.
I got another question here. How are there so many straight-up marks getting thrown around so easily? Any way to occupy more space and improve the straight-up mark? That's a tough question. I mean, that's kind of what you're giving up when you're throwing on a straight-up mark is the arounds on both sides. And what you're stopping is those straight, easy hucks. You're forcing someone, if they want to bomb it deep, they're going to have to throw it around you rather than a straight shot down the field. As far as occupying more space goes, it's really about just staying centered and moving your legs. You're not going to get much done by reaching from side to side. It's about shuffling side to side. So I would say improving your lateral shuffling speed is the only way you're going to kind of get anything done in that way.
That's another one from that spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, that one had like a chance, but I'd love to see the stat from that spot.
for 10.
Which one did we hit?
I think Isaiah had one. It was probably a little bit farther down the field, but Isaiah had one to Army.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But I don't think it was like really.
Yeah, I didn't count that as a huck. Yeah, but it was yeah, it could have been. So again, maybe this is strategic, but they have their dump right in the lane where they really want to get the disc. But I mean, they're able to get the disc down, but we're not so unhappy with that. And now look at right away, he's trying to get it back, and that leads to a turnover.
Yeah,
I love it, by the way, when I describe something that's going bad, and then it leads to a turnover, or I'm describing something good and it's like a goal. I feel pretty good about myself.
Checking.
Yeah, well, there's a on the opposite side. We're talking about how that hucks never works, and he kind of put a pretty good one right there.
And I think that was in the same category as Isaiah. So if we're gonna not count Isaiah as a huck, then we can't count that one. But I think we should count both of them.
I think the bomb's getting out. I think that this is maybe, I don't know if it's us or them that you're talking about. The huck's going downwind. You can pretty much put them at any angle, and they're just gonna soar. So it's very hard to stop it on the mark.
Yeah.
And then on our side, I feel like we have very long throwers, and I don't think they have the links to contest it as much as they'd like. So I think we have a bit of an advantage on that. I'm not sure if that answers what you were talking about, but about why the bombs are being thrown.
I think it does, because as kind of what I was saying was that you really are forcing someone to throw around you. But in this strong of a downwind, throwing around somebody, you can still flatten it out, no problem, just because the wind pushes it that way. Nice inside shot from Mark there. Oh.
What was that? Did he duck under? Oh, sorry. From that angle I saw him duck under it.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That would have been good. Nice D there by, I think that was Carroll.
Oh, man. What was that? Why didn't you get that?
Brutal.
It's funny sometimes when, if you're the second guy, for whatever reason, people drop that more than other times.
Yeah.
You just feel like, it wasn't yours to get, so you're doing a favor to get, or something, I don't know, but you just...
It's very true. I find that happens so often. Okay, so we got a pretty good stranglehold in this game at this point.
Is that a flick pull?
No.
Oh, left-handed.
Lefty.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. What is this, like?
It's an advantage, man.
This is 1925. Awesome. Oh, you're left-handed? I don't like that. Okay, you're going to change.
It's such an advantage. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's very true. That's like baseball or something like that, Like lefties that just dominate the pitching ranks.
What exercise regimes are you guys doing to prevent ACL injuries? Mike Haddock of the Adelaide Club, and he's the trainer of Goad and Rush and Team Canada, has a full regime for us all. I don't know. There's so many exercises around it. Getting your hamstrings strong is probably one of the biggest ones, because it's something that's not natural. Like your quads and everything are going to get naturally strong from running when your hamstrings don't. So you kind of have to focus on that.
And it's very easy for your body to compensate up to a point for weak hamstrings up until you have a real problem occur. So it's really important to get that going early.
Although on your point about that big names have gone down, I actually almost think it's.
Oh, jeez.
What was that? This is one of the worst hammers.
No, this is
so he pump faked the hammer first.
Second terrible hammer that they've done.
He pump faked the hammer and you know what? I wonder if he's trying to pull back because of the mark. I hope so, because if not, that wasn't so good. But I actually think maybe he's trying to hold back from the mark. But about the ACL injuries or other injuries, the thing about those sort of injuries, they were such severe injuries that I don't think working out prevents those. In fact, it's more you're going to prevent the small little hamstring tweaks and things like that. But at some point, if you get hit in the wrong spot or anything, your ligaments, you can't build those up, right? You can build the muscles around it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, ACLs are especially tough because, they seem like they can just happen in the most random ways, doing the most random things. Like even the way that Mark initially tore his ACL was just, playing basketball, doing a pretty routine landing, comes down a little bit weird. There, it's gone. JJ.
Oh, JJ. Then he just falls. Just falls down on it too. That's actually.
Oh, guys, I hurt myself as I was running. That's why that happened.
And we gave JJ player of the game still because of his early big skies to get us these upward breaks.
He was trying his best to. Defer,
I would say that.
I would say
that when he won it, there were some regrets. Like it probably was decided at half that he was going to be the player of the game, and he tried not to. But
yeah, he was doing his best, but we still gave it to him. It's over by Lefty Mustachio. I think the research disagrees with you. Yeah, it can happen to anyone, but it's more likely to happen to people who don't stretch regularly or before the game. Okay, well, in that case, Mike Haddock, not only does he build workout regimes, but he also comes to every single one of our games and does a very thorough, very focused warm-up with us. And I find that it really is extremely effective, more effective than any warm-up that we've ever done over the past couple of years, specifically in the hip area. I find that my hips are always very tight, and Mike has a great warm-up that opens up your hips really nicely, and I think that in turn allows the rest of your body to open up.
I guess so. What I was saying, I wasn't trying to say that you can't make it so that you're less likely to get those injuries, but you can't prevent those injuries. And I guess what I was trying to say is that we've been working with Mike for the last 3 years or so, and I think I don't think there's more we can do to prevent injuries. And I think the injuries last year had nothing to do with that we weren't, in shape or we weren't doing the right things. I think that those two happen to be just bad injuries. But I definitely think that stuff's very important and to do it. And if I knew it better, I'd give more than just general things. But Mike's the guy for that. What would you say? What's the story of the game? This game. What did we do well and what did they not do well? That this became a big 21-13 lead with a minute left.
I think that brutal. I think we capitalized on just a lot more break opportunities than they did, especially upwind. We had a couple that we really worked it up, and they didn't have nearly as many. When they got the disc going upwind, they weren't nearly as successful working it up the field before taking shots. I think they tried to take shots really early in their possessions, and they got a couple. Some of them worked going up the line, but especially on their D line, they didn't really get a chance to work it far enough up the field where they could really attack the end zone. Whereas we were able to multiple times get it up past the 50, 40-yard line on their side of the field, and then take a shot into the end zone. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought our set plays were always able to get us big yards off the start. Maybe that's because we were threatening the deeps. I thought their handlers were probably preventing them from going to the upwind side of the field as much as they would like to, and that because of that, it made their cutters have to really try to beat our guys one-on-one. Which over the course of the game wasn't going to win for them. We got a couple big skies was by JJ, and I think Sachin on that had one that went over the other guy to him, and so that kind of gave us a bit of an early lead. but I guess it felt inevitable by the way that things were going, that we were getting, we were able to get big shots out, and maybe we only caught a few of them, but that was enough. And yeah. Yeah, they didn't take away your unders. You had them open. I think that was a bit of a factor.
Oh.
How much weight do you two squat? Adrian, what are you squatting right now? Or we're not. So we're not actually squatting right now because we're in our during the season training. But
last time Bomber and I squatted. Last time I did my 8 reps, I did 285. I was doing it in the middle. But then I did for the what's that thing called where you hold it in the middle?
Deadlifts? We're talking about the deadlifts?
No. But it's like that weird bar that's kind of like
trap bar deadlifts.
Trap bar deadlifts. Then we did 315. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't do that much on deadlifts, but I was about 300 for squats.
Yeah.
But we were never doing 1 rep maxes. We were only doing 8 to 10 reps.
Yeah.
But yeah. Guess about that. I guess that ends that game. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a windy one, and so it wasn't the most exciting of games, but that's what we're here for. We made it super exciting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then we play on Saturday. We play Ottawa. That game will be on ESPN. So I'm not sure if we'll do this for that game since it'll be live broadcasted.
Yeah, I guess we probably won't because they'll post that on.
They'll post
YouTube.
that with commentary. Maybe we'll commentate on their commentary. Maybe we'll put them up and we'll.
I would be interested in doing that.
And maybe we can even interact with them. Like maybe when their color guy asks a question, we'll mute and we'll answer it.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's good.
So maybe we'll figure something out. But
either way, then I think our next game after that is on the 29th. That's our next home game. Which is against Montreal, I think. Yes, it's against Montreal. And so after that game, that's probably the next game that we will commentate just like this. Here's JJ Edwards getting game of the day, player of the game honors, and just delivering a bunch of timeless sports cliches in his post-game interview, which was pretty great.
Awesome. Yeah. So
thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again soon.